Hello, everyone, and welcome to a series of something. I guess we're just gonna call this Matt Does Speedruns. This is where I'm gonna speedrun Splatoon, because that's something that I do. I do speedruns under the name King Krab, King_Krab. And Brennan made the offer of anyone can just send him video of them doing stuff, and this is what I chose to do. So here I thought I would do a couple of levels, mostly the ones you see here, the first boss, level 2 and level 3, probably starting with the first boss because that was the first speedrun I ever did. So I guess the first thing I'll do is maybe break down how the run works and then actually do it. So, let's go. So one of the first questions you might be asking is, speedrunning, that's cool and all, but why Splatoon? And that's because it's a game that I already know how to play. I'm decent enough at it, not the best. You know, like, I've never achieved the highest rank in any competitive mode, but I'm good enough that I already have most of the movement down for how competitive works. So this is the first boss, who is a giant toaster. And I'm just gonna skip cutscenes because that's what I normally do in my runs. But he's a giant toaster, and the ideal way to do this is you pick out the charger, which is Splatoon's sniper rifle. The way you're supposed to play this game is you're supposed to ink up the sides of him, but if you use the sniper rifle, you can just hit the tentacle that's supposed to be at the top of him just with 2 shots and he's down. It's way faster than what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to shoot ink at that last bit where all the little pieces of bread come out, and you're supposed to ink up the walls, and that takes way too much time. Some people do try to do their runs doing that, but it takes way too long. So like I said, bread comes out and you shoot it. And this last run is a bit weirder. First he does this weird little thing where these ink jets come out. The optimal thing to do there is actually just get hit by it. Makes it go in much sooner. And then he'll try to hit you 3 times instead of the 2 times that every other phase does. And then he'll do the spitting out all the bread again. You get yourself into position, aim, and then shoot him. And then he just explodes. And then you're free to just launch a bomb of some sort, either a roller mine or a regular one, go through and catch the zap fish. Except you'd be catching a real one if this was your first time doing it. This is technically a New Game Plus run. So let's just hop in and I'll try to do a few runs of it. I'll try to not restart. I'll try to make sure most of my runs get actually complete, and that they're not just me starting and stopping 20 times, because that will get annoying. It's how actual runs go. And I say that and I have to do it right now because I had the wrong bomb out. So my current best time on this level is a 1:12, which is respectable. The former world record of what you can achieve with just using the sniper rifle alone is a 1:10. I say former because the current method is 2 seconds shorter and involves throwing a weird bomb up top at him before the tentacle comes out, so it explodes and you only have to shoot him once. Saves 2 seconds. I don't do that because I'm not going to be a world record runner, and I'd rather focus on much of the other ones. If I go silent here and there, I'm sorry. It's because I'm trying to focus, especially with aiming at them. So as I was saying earlier, why Splatoon? Well, I used to like never be interested in speedrunning. Like, I'd watch YouTubers do breakdowns of, oh, here's how speedrunning this game works. And I would think they're interesting, but I didn't really have any effort or any real drive to sit there and replay a game constantly, like 30 times, or not even 30, like 300 times to get as good of a run as I possibly can. Because, you know, old NES games like Super Mario Bros. Or Castlevania or Legend of Zelda, how many hundreds of hours would it take of practice before you even can be a top 100 player? And how much immense skill does it take to just be able to do that? Compared to, I don't know, Splatoon, for me, I've already been playing the game itself for hundreds of hours, so I've already got that baseline of experience of how everything in the game operates. Because for the most part, all of these runs are glitchless. There's no real manipulation of some weird thing the game does to glitch it out and get better times. Everything that you see speedrunners do are just things that can be done in the game. Which is important because this is also primarily a multiplayer game. So if there were glitches, they were more than likely patched out because they'd be usable in multiplayer and would give people unfair advantages. So, yeah, I was never really that interested in speedrunning just because I thought it would take too much time to learn a game, it would take too much practice, until this past Christmas, when my brother came to visit, and he brought his kids, and they wanted to, I let them play my games, you know, keep them occupied, and one of them wanted to play Splatoon, so I let them play Splatoon, and they took forever. So there we go. I just tied my previous best, or my personal best. So they wanted to do the first boss. It took them forever, like 12 or 13 minutes. And it made me curious, well, how fast can I do it? And I go through it, and it takes me something that's not even that great of a time, like 2 minutes and 10 seconds, somewhere around there. And that makes me start thinking, like, oh, I wonder, do people speedrun into the bosses? Wonder how long that'll take. I look it up, and it would be a few seconds off from a top 100 run. And then I just start playing it just to see how quickly can I finally do this. And after only a couple days, I set a personal best of 112. It took a lot of practice, probably spending a few hours practicing just this boss, because I also never really used the sniper rifles in the main multiplayer. All of my play is just with, I guess what you'd call the game's SMGs of Splatoon. So I had to kind of learn how to use an entire new weapon class, but I did eventually figure it out. Oh no, I probably screwed myself into a bad time just by letting him turn around. So this boss is weird because the time you get can actually change depending. When you see me like swim right to opposite sides of the boss, that's because if you don't, he'll turn around and it'll add time to your run. If you don't get to where the next piece of bread's gonna come out, it just takes up too much time. I think you can probably shave off a couple seconds just by making sure you're always on the proper side that the next piece of bread's gonna come out. So as I was saying, and you're gonna hear me say that a lot because I'm very scatterbrained and go off topic and go on tangents way too much because I'm very new to the commentary thing. Because even when I did appear on the channel, I was not in a lot of videos. And this is really my first time ever doing anything solo. So as I was saying, I got really curious about it, about doing speed runs, seeing how fast I could do some of these levels. Until I got my capture card, I could never do full game runs because the Splatoon 2 individual level community will let you use in-game timers. So that's why I've been referring to these 112s and why I haven't been taking, how long the cutscenes last into account. It's all based on the in-game timer. So you can get, I don't know what I was just saying. It's all based on the in-game timer, so you don't have to worry about using some time split software to record your runs or anything like that. You do if you do a full New Game Plus run, or a full New Game any % run, which I have not done, because I'm pretty much recording this on the day I got my capture card. So I think I'll do maybe a couple more of this level before I switch to the more impressive ones. Because if you've never done speedruns before, this is probably the best level to start because of just how simple it is. It's just, your movements don't have to be the most precise in the world. You just gotta aim pretty much only at one single thing. So, and it's easy to get a top 50 run with almost no effort because of how short the level is and how realistically little effort it takes to get good at this boss fight. The other ones, oh boy, it took me a lot more effort. Oh, I'm actually doing a good time on here. I told Brendan I'm more than likely not going to set a new personal best pace. But if I do, this footage is going up somewhere else before it gets shown on here. I'm doubtful that will happen, but at least I'm doubtful it will happen on the other levels. Here, I suppose it's possible I could shave a second off. And there we go. That's all. Any chance of that being a good run, gone. Yeah, so like I said, I restart these levels who knows how many times. Like, it'll take me 20 to 30 bad runs before I can actually get a completed good one. It's just the way speedrunning goes. That's another reason why I chose the individual levels. I can't imagine doing, like, a modern day game, like, say, Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal, or just any real big modern day game where a good speed run is still an hour long. I just can't imagine how bad that's got to feel to be on personal best pace, or potentially even new world record pace, and you make one tiny mistake somewhere at like minute 35 out of 50. And now you've added 20 seconds to your run. I do know a bit about how that feels, because I've had that happen to me a lot on the levels themselves. So one thing that you'll notice that I just did there is you can pretty much shoot that tentacle right when it appears, rather than having to wait for it to finally show up. Oh, this is actually a good time. Shame I'm not doing this with the intention of setting a new personal best, because I probably... I don't know. I don't want to say I could. I don't know. I get the feeling there's weird things that go on in this level I haven't mastered yet. But yeah, I think the theoretical best time that would be possible without learning the weird trick of throwing the bomb on top of it before you shoot it, the best time I could get is a 110. Nope. Ignore that new record. The weird thing about Splatoon is it actually seems to count milliseconds, but since it doesn't display it, the in-game timer doesn't. you might have a better time than someone else, but it doesn't really count. It's why if you ever look at the Splatoon 2 individual level speedrun boards, you'll see that you'll have like 15 people tied for the same place. So now that I've done that a few times, I want to go to a little bit of a better level. Level 3. This one has a lot of weirdness, and it'll take me a little bit of time to illustrate what's going on. So this one, as you can see, I've changed weapons to the dualies, which are the kind of like the guns akimbo of Splatoon 2, and the reason why is if you press the jump button while shooting, you do a dodge, and that is used to save time in places. So the first thing you do here, toss a little bomb here, and then normally that should go a bit faster. You would approach here, dodge jump, dodge roll twice over here. You don't want to get hit by these guys, and they're annoying. I've lost so many good runs to that getting hit by them. You go up here, shoot this, ink up these weird stairs, throw another bomb here, dodge roll into it. And then you dodge roll onto... So when you saw me jump and dodge roll on top of this little slide rail or grind rail, that's because dodge rolling on them saves a little bit of time. You'd land, and you dodge roll twice onto this. Ink up all of this. Don't get hit by that guy. And then you can dodge roll onto this one. Normally I jump off of there so I can do this right when I land. Normally I throw... Okay, well normally I would hope that wouldn't get exploded by that. Oh boy. That happens to me so much. Because the very tight jump. Normally what you're supposed to do is when you're on good time, you would jump around that. But I'm almost never on a good enough time for that. And I get hit again. Okay, I gotta hope. Just let me do this. Okay, well, the level is not being cooperative. So now I can at least show you what I'd actually do in a real run. Jump up here, ink that, get more ink than that so you don't get slowed down. Yeah, so one of the nice things about Splatoon 2 is if you don't have a capture card, you don't need one to speedrun it. You can actually just submit clips. Like if you have an untied first run, you need the full thing. But if it's a tied first place, then you can just have a clip of like the last 25 seconds in the level. And anything else, they'll just take a screenshot. But yeah, as you see, I kind of avoid that roller thing, jump up, come over here. Then you'd ink the ground here. You can jump to a spot, jump on top of this box, jump up there. Oh goodness, you're not supposed to get hit by that. Or well, the world record run does have you get hit by it, but it's just if you dodge roll through it. When you get the checkpoint. Okay, when you get the checkpoint, your armor will reset, because if you get your armor broken by getting hit too much, you move way slower, which will destroy runs. Ink up that wall, do this. And another rail. You dodge roll off of it. Ink up the wall, shoot this. That tiny jump there has ruined so many runs, and it hurts because it's so late in the level too. And then as you can see there, you're supposed to toss a technically it's called a curler bomb, but I just call it a roller mine. You ink it, you throw it at the light bulb, it breaks, and you can dodge roll into it. And that will actually save you... Dodge rolling into it, I think, can probably save you at least half a second. So now, to really give it an attempt. This level, I can guarantee you there is no chance I'm going to set a personal best. My best time is a 1:10, which isn't that great, and it's because when you saw, when I was demonstrating how the level works, there were those rollers that go up the wall. They go on a timed cycle, and usually my timing is bad enough that I'm always stuck with, at best, them still being down. As I think will be displayed right here. Yep. If I'm lucky, I might be able to get a 1:11 on this. And there we go. That's that jump that I just screwed up. Normally I would reset, but I think that would be a bit... Okay. I think that would be a bit boring to see me never actually complete anything and just press the restart button 20 times. Oh, I screwed the timing on that up completely. Yeah. This is when I probably would tell a funny story if I knew any. This isn't the most impressive level, but the one that I'm the best at, I don't know how well that run is gonna go. So yeah, like I said, I've got a 1:10, which is a top 25 run currently, and my 1:12 on the, oh no, and my 1:12 on the last level, the first boss, is also top 25. Not the most impressive thing in the world, but still respectable times. Oh no, silence. I need to break the silence. So how about that? What about them squids, eh? I'm sorry if you can hear my controller presses. I don't know if you can. It's never something I've put any thought into. Also because my Pro controller that I use is old and raggedy. Not in the best shape. So it's quite a bit louder to use than a brand new one would be. So Splatoon, I actually really like this game. I would say it's probably one of the only real competitive games that I play regularly. Oopsie, that's bad. I don't know. Because I used to play like a ton of TF2, and I don't know, I just fell out of love with it eventually. I think it's just because a lot of FPS games and other stuff like that, it makes me angry when I lose. And I don't like, you know, you don't like losing, you go into a bit of an anger. But with Splatoon, I usually have fun even when I'm losing in it. Not in the speedruns. When I lose speedruns, that enrages me quite a bit. I've gotten quite a bit heated sometimes playing this game. But that's just because sometimes I'll have, you know, several times where I'll be on personal best pace on levels and things just go wrong. and it's really annoying to deal with. Yeah, this time is gonna be terrible. I'm already like 20 seconds behind. It's not even an exaggeration. Actually, it probably is. I'm probably only about 10 seconds behind pace. I think that was 14 seconds slower than my personal best. No, 16 seconds. I can't do math. So yeah, one of the main reasons I got my capture card recently was not actually to do this for the show. It was because I wanted to eventually be able to post full playthroughs of my levels, because as you can see here, like the real cool stuff, in my opinion, especially for like this level, happens at the beginning of it, rather than the 30 seconds you see at the very end if I take a screenshot or a clip with the Switch's inbuilt clip feature. Huh, I'm doing better than this than I normally do. I say as I make a colossal mistake. Although it didn't really matter. I still got caught in that bad cycle of the rollers going up the wall. Yeah, I'm not the best at doing those dodge rolls on the while you're on the rails, which is will be a problem later when I do speedruns of levels, some levels that very much so require you to be good at that, because some levels are filled with those rails. There we go. Ended it properly, but not with that great of a time. Alright, I think I'll do another couple attempts on this level. And then I'm going to switch to... I don't know if I'd call it my favorite, but it's definitely the level I've tried the most. And that would be level 2. Right now, I'll finish this run of level 3. Uh-oh, that's bad. Oh, that's even worse. Everything's going wrong. Can I get this jump? Yes, I can. Please let me get up the wall. Oh, I couldn't get up the wall. Oh, that's gonna add tons of time. Oh yeah, when I got my armor broken, you can see you just move so slow. And there we go. Made another major mistake. Okay. That's supposed to let you just do one nice little smooth motion to get back. I think you can do different timings on those dodge rolls. Alright. Tell you what, we're just gonna restart, try to get another good run, and then we'll move on to level 2. So this, I don't know, I don't like this staircase. It's weird because you're supposed to, you know, obviously the straightest line, the straightest way to go is always a straight line, but then you got this weird staircase that requires you to zigzag around. Ouch.